a quick walkthrough on that technology. I'll show you over here. This was my original capital, and upon starting, my warrior was about here. There was stone, and knowing the technology for stone is an early technology for religion, which is the Stonehenge. The would allow this wonder to be constructed. And so this was the stone. I wanted this wonder, and so that was one of the very first technologies I learned. After that, went towards trying to build it, had my warrior going out to fight and see where the land was, rather than just pushing forward towards my stone, because I know it's going to be a while before I learn the technology and build the wonder. So I'm just on my own with one warrior. I pushed him out. I typically look for water, and so there were two pathways that I could take. I brought him back, and I saw that this river was going north. Tried to make my way up north, and boom, found the first city-state. Next thing you know, there was a barbarian coming from here, and I didn't know why. But boom, found another city-state. All of this then becomes landlocked unless I can somehow, as you see, it's impassable really with them being here. In the early stages of the game, they start off as enemies, but with them being here and the mountains and everything, there was really no other way forward to the east. So I'm literally landlocked unless I can do something that allows me to either convert these city-states, or I have to be able to take them out. So that's it. They either become my ally, and even converting this one would not allow me to move through this space without a new technology, which is shipping, to come all the way through, and then I can settle on this side of the mountain pass. That's to the east. And so that sets the stage, or the ground. I started here. The technology here was the one that would give me the ability to build this wonder, which starts off my religion. It's a whole lot of land, and in order to see where the land is, religious people have greater movements. And so I ended up getting a warrior here, because there was barbarians that popped up, defeated those, and then just moved my barbarian up, and found that I have an enemy to my northwest, but the real enemy was to my northeast, and it's really an enemy because there's no other way through this mountain pass. And so in this quick tutorial, now that you know the lay of the land, and which technologies were important to me, which is the religion, I built the Stonehenge as my wonder. I can't cover this great of a distance given this water spot. I can't cover this great of a distance and beat this city into submission. I would always be fighting at a disadvantage. I would always be bottlenecked right here with one person trying to attack at a time. So maybe an archer here and an archer here, and then if I had somebody stronger, they could be at this space, but they would be at a disadvantage trying to fight this city. This one is a little bit more reasonable to fight because at least I have a couple of squares here, but as you see, it's still a bottleneck. Trying to come all the way around and attack from its north, like an encirclement strategy, is even more resources that I would need. Not to mention, as you see here, sword, sword, siege weapon, siege weapon, sword, siege weapon, sword, sword. They got a lot of hitters. I've been working on religion, they've been working on soldiers, and they have a lot more hitters than me. And so I start with religion in order to convert these cities. If you can't beat them, then I need to be the master or the governor of these city-states. And so again, I have stone. I learn my wonder to defend my city against barbarians with my warriors, push out to where I'm not landlocked, which would be here and to the north. I understand my enemy is here, so I have to be strategic with this river, leave that warrior on high alert in case this enemy turns into a true enemy and comes to attack. At least it's a scout. It will not stop an invading army, but it at least gives me a heads up while I'm still in the early part of the game. And because of that, I'm now able to focus on religion. So you'll see here I have my religious spot built. I push my religious all the way out so I can help convert this as my loyalty builds. And then even in my back city, which is Sedinga here, I built a similar holy site. So all three of my cities have a holy site. My intention is to convert these city-states into allies. So I'm in a heavily defensed area. I have 3 cities that are working. What's next? In order to convert them, I'm going to need wonders. And so my first wonder is constructed. I hop into my second wonder when I'm able to get it, which is the Hanging Gardens. It boosts my population at all 3 of my cities. So that's how I'm able to then build the wonder or the holy site. And I start here with the pyramid so that they'll give me builders, but it's also loyalty and all of that that I need, because these are the ones that are applying pressure to the city-states. And as you see at this city, Meroe, my capital, I'm working on my 3rd wonder because I want to maintain it. You see, I can see all the way through them because I have been able to convert them. And at this point in the game, as you see over the city Leventi, right next to the LA in Leventi, is the symbol of Islam, which is my religion, because I was able to get there and convert both. Now, why was that important? Having converted both of these, I don't have to worry about their army units fighting me this direction. This dude is just lost, trying to see what's happening in the rest of the world. My enemy is here, so it used to be here, which is why this conversation is important. I'm moving up this way north so I can get to the land that's no longer landlocked. But there's an enemy city that used to be here. By converting or on that enemy, then these folks who are now under my governance, these 2 city-states, deployed their units to fight against my enemy. They destroyed his first city-state here using their siege weapons and their swordsmen. I'm just now getting any units here to the battle. But they've already destroyed one city, and now they're pushing towards his capital. These units are specialized units that hit hard, so there's no way that I survive with only being able to produce 1 or 2 military units. It takes 1 or 2 for each of theirs. And so to win, I use these city-states, which could have been enemies, convert them over to my armies, or convert them, and so now their armies are able to fight. And I also have the ability, if they do decide to stop fighting, if I'm the suzerain, which I am over these cities. To become suzerain, you need to have envoys, but because I am, then they are now able to, or I am now able to buy these units and make them fight specifically. Haven't had to do it. They've been doing their fight, and as you see, my faster unit, my religious unit, is getting to the front. So that's my 10-minute video there. Using these, how do I win the war? How do I wage war? I don't have to use my military units to wage a war against someone's capital. I have 2 city-states. I just need to become the suzerain over these city-states. And to do so, I need to be strategic. What do I learn? What do I build? And why do I build it? That's my tutorial for you. Hopefully that's helpful in your conquest. Early on, as you see here, it's still around 69, but you want to survive. I have another city-state here. I have an enemy to my north and an enemy to my northeast. In this situation, I was landlocked because of the impassable mountains. The only other option was to try to learn sailing and to get in the water and then try to navigate my way around, but it's a different technology. It's slower. By the time you try that, if you're not a specialist in sailing, it just doesn't work. The warfare strategy, getting horses or somebody that can take out the siege weapons, the enemy I was going against, it wouldn't have worked in this scenario because they fight well against those horses. I didn't know it at the time, but I don't use that strategy. I say if I want to beat my enemy, and in this situation I have 2 city-states, it's going to be a technology race, and the race for technology starts off by learning my religion and letting that religion empower us. I went with Islam and a couple of religious bonuses. I'll show you what those are here. Like housing and then something for production, because what I want to build are the things that get major bonuses, like these. This gives me +5 gold and my food. This was a good one. It gives me faith plus my food and +2 gold. Finally get out in the water. That gives me 3 gold. All of that money then allows me to continue to expand and take advantage of some of these other new resources that are available up here. Using all of those resources then to fight against my enemy. Alright, that's my walkthrough. Hopefully you appreciate it. That's all I got. I'm out.